Gonna want to rate it.
All right. Yeah. We got Mark here. We just went and saw the new Captain America film. Just want to know what you think about it, and you can give your rating out of 5 for the small couch.
Out of 5. Just to make it messy, I'm gonna give it a 4. So I'm gonna let y'all deal with that. How y'all deal with that? I think it's a good restart. If they can figure out how to piece together
I
all
agree.
the stuff that last 5 years that's just been all over the place. It can be a good restart. They're gonna have to piece together some Doctor Strange stuff, some Spider-Man stuff, but and then maybe these Marvel shows get it together. I say wait for Thunderbolts this summer. I think that can also connect some things. But a solid 4.2.
All right. So Mark's small couch score is a 4.2.
4.2.
All right. Thanks, man. All right, we have Nasir here, and we just saw Captain America, as you can see by the video. What did you think about it, and what would be your score out of 5 be?
I thought it was good.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good, yeah.
What's your
I wonder
score?
what's gonna happen if they make another one. And my score is 5 out of 5.
A 5 out of 5, and you wonder what's going to happen if they make another one.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they definitely set up some stuff for us with this one. So thank you. So Nasir's score, small couch review score is a 5. All right. All right, so we just saw Captain America. Sam is literally, 15 to 20 minutes? He's 20 minutes down 95. He couldn't make it here. But we're going to talk about this right after you see these 2 reviews from Mark and Nasir. So I have some things to say, and I actually enjoyed it. I just want to know what Sam has to say, and I think that's going to really change everything. I'm not going to give my score till the end of the actual review. So keep watching, and I'll see you guys with Sam in 3, 2, 1.
My brother, those are some strong scores from Nasir and Mark, I got to say.
I think those were high scores.
I definitely do not agree.
Okay.
No disrespect to, of course, everyone has their opinion. But,
Of course.
Yeah, let's get into this, man. Something funny. After I got out of the theater,
Okay.
I looked up. I was like, "Yo, did this movie have it?" Because I haven't been paying attention to the production that much.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Did this movie have reshoots?" And it
yeah.
did.
They got reshot 3 times.
yeah, and I definitely I saw it.
You can tell.
So yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews at our original home.
Yes.
It's your boy Sam,
It's your boy Jovi.
and today we are talking about the first Marvel movie release in a very long time.
Yeah.
Was the last one the Marvels?
We talked about this. No, actually, we were talking about this yesterday during the snow day on chat. Think it was. No, technically, it was Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, you're right. Deadpool and Wolverine, because Deadpool's in the MCU. So yes, that is true.
Technically.
Okay, all right, but yeah. So this is, I guess we'll say, from the OG crew.
Yeah.
This is one of the first ones. We have Sam Wilson as Captain America in this brave new world.
Yeah, I never liked the title. I like the original title.
Yes. Quick PSA, guys, before I forget. When this episode comes out, so I haven't been doing Comic Book Wednesdays. You haven't seen us in a little bit because we've been working on our 300th episode.
Yes.
It's a big deal, y'all.
Yes,
300 videos. Jovi reminded me we had to do something big, so we got that recorded.
Yeah.
So, but that's not ready yet. So technically, we'll call this our 301st video.
Yeah.
But even though it's coming out before, just wanted to say that. Now back to the review. All right, man. So, I have like 3 problems with this movie.
Okay, let's start. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
I'll go right to the sour. So like, but like my overall problem is,
Yeah.
this movie had the potential. It was like what I'm watching. I'm like, man, this is down to earth, kind of cool conspiracy level, just like The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And it had the potential to be so
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
But the issue I was saying when I was asking if there were reshoots, I'm like, bruh, what is going on with this pacing? Like there were like
It was jumpy.
yeah. Okay, so no spoilers in this review. I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible and not give away stuff that's been in the trailer.
Okay.
So let's start with. All right, so there's the sorry. The plot of this movie is about basically there's a conspiracy going on that Sam Wilson has to figure out. A conspiracy, you know, in geopolitical.
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
freaking detective in this one.
Yeah, so the thing with that is when you show me or when you tell me that you have a conspiracy, right? I then look at the movie differently. Where like a movie like Ant-Man or the first Iron Man, I'm judging it just on, oh, is it fun? Was there action? Was it cool?
Was it
this
comic
one?
booky?
Yeah, this one I'm actually judging you on the plot you've given me because you've told me, A, I should pay attention to this. This
Oh,
dude
yeah.
has a master plan.
Yeah.
And you should, you know, like his plan is what's driving the movie.
I agree because I definitely once you figure out who the big bad is, your perception is going to change. I mean, if you're really into this, like because you know we all know that these are all connected. They're supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So I sat up a little bit, like, all right, like I need to listen to every single thing that's being said. So I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah. And my thing is, one of the main pieces of this conspiracy, like, I'm trying not to spoil, but like it gets solved, right? Like I guess my thing is there are things that happen, it gets solved, but then the movie acts like it wasn't solved, and I can't get that out of my head. Like so, for example, there's a when the conspiracy starts, it's a campaign of like there's like misinformation going around. Or I guess I should say disinformation. And you're like, this disinformation is dangerous because it's making certain people look guilty when they're not.
Okay.
Maybe in the second act you find out like, oh hey, that person, this was disinformation, that person's actually totally innocent, whatever.
Right.
But then the movie continues, and the characters who now know that this person is innocent and can get this person free are still acting like this person is in danger. And I'm like, well, why are we acting worried about this guy? We all know at the end of the movie you're going to save them because they didn't do what they did. So that actually really bothered me because it was unnecessary stakes, and the movie took time to show like we should be worried about this person when we know every single person in the movie who with credibility knows that this person is fine.
Yeah, I think we got since it was shot so many times, we got a lot of relationship building that kind of didn't add up to anything.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like even like in editing, like I feel like there was some things that like they weren't put in the right order they should have been.
Yeah, no, that's I can agree with that. So it's really, I think we both watched this in a different way because we saw all the same things, but I kind of looked past it.
Okay, one thing I couldn't look past,
Yeah.
and this is actually like the main conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
Let's imagine, and I'm not going to, because I don't want to spoil, but let's just imagine that the bad guy in this movie was Skynet.
Okay.
Or just some artificial intelligent robot, right?
Yeah.
When the robot comes and it does its thing, people in this movie would be like, oh, it's an artificially intelligent robot, like Ultron.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go solve it. So why is it in this movie, when something happens that literally has happened before, everyone's looking around like, well, what are you saying? How could that happen? That's not possible. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. There's a dude in this movie this literally happened to, and you guys are acting as if what he's saying is impossible? And I'm trying to keep it vague because I don't want to spoil it, but trust me, you'll know when you see it.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was sitting there, like, confused. Like, is someone gonna say something?
Right. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was waiting
Like,
for it.
bro, it happened in the same exact way it happened with
Yeah.
the original person. Like, an event happened, this, like, or I'm sorry, a trigger happened, this happened, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is literally what happened. But,
I got you on that. Because I was sitting in a theater,
And, yeah.
just looking, and like I can literally see the scene.
yeah, and again, I'm sorry I'm being vague here. I'm trying not to spoil it.
I want you guys to go see this. So I think
Yeah. But so outside of, like, I guess the plot issues, the only other thing I guess I didn't like they said, this movie, or like Mark said, this movie seemed like it was trying to close a lot of open loops, open holes. I
that's-
mean,
and that's what Aisha asked. She was like, "Did you like it?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I'm surprised," and I was like, "No, I think it did what it was supposed to do.
yeah,
It may not have been edited well, but it literally closed a lot of holes and tried to bridge gaps in spines to other things that are projects that are coming.
yeah. I mean, that giant celestial in the ocean that's just been sitting there.
Right.
I mean, you see in the trailers that's answered. This is a sequel to a movie I never thought we would get a sequel to, honestly, in some respects. And I was like, oh, okay, so you guys do remember that.
Yeah.
Right. And like, yeah, like it's almost like Civil War, where, you know, it's a Captain America movie, but it's not Captain America all the way through.
Okay.
Thunderbolt Ross, I think, is an equal co-star in this movie.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I guess if I were to well, one more sour, Thunderbolt Ross being the Red Hulk, I feel like that was spoiled in the trailers.
Oh,
Because it was
yeah.
literally built up the entire movie as this big surprise, and it's like, well, we know what it is. You showed us in the trailer. Why would you do that if it's the big finale?
Yeah, and all the, like it after the second, I think, reshot and all the press releases, it went from just like a picture of Sam holding the shield to him in front of Red Hulk. Everything is him in front of Red Hulk. It's him fighting Red Hulk. So we know that's how the movie. I mean, it's not a spoiler. I'm sorry to say that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, like
We know that's the conclusion, because there's no way you're gonna have your main character fight such a big character in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, so I think that kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
And then the action was fine.
Action was cool.
It was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like, oh shit.
Yeah, there was nothing you haven't seen before.
It was just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is cool. Like, very reminiscent to like when we first see Black Widow in action, that kind of fighting style.
Though that was better.
Yeah,
I think the hand-to-hand in Winter Soldier was way better.
Hand in Hand Winter Soldier is probably unmatched to any.
That's it. That's not fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, action was cool. I mean, there was some obvious green screen, but nothing that made me cringe like some other things we've seen.
It's the end of the movie. There's a car,
Why do you notice these random things, bro?
and it really bothered me because it was really close to the camera,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, that's not a car.
Yeah.
That's clearly that, but you can tell that's a lot of those scenes where I'm like, that person's not there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
You're not talking to that person.
Mm-hmm.
This was shot in a studio.
Yes.
This
Yes.
was not shot in DC.
Not in DC at all. I could tell that. I was like,
Yeah.
bruh, that place doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, you did no research. Like, no. That's not in our city.
Yeah.
All right, bruh. I'm gonna end my. Oh, one more thing. The Falcon in this movie, Joaquin.
Yeah.
I like his character. I like the actor, and I like the character. In this movie, he was just a little too annoying. Like, I mean,
He was extra.
yeah, he was the comedic relief, but he was
supposed to be,
Yeah.
but it kind of just came off as a child.
perfect words. And with that, I will end my rant. And Jovi, you can go ahead, tell us what you didn't like. Then we can.
I mean,
get
my
on this movie.
sour is everything we just said. That's why I've been bouncing off Sam, and the simple fact that if you reshoot a movie and your scenes are jumbled,
Mm-hmm.
when you try to do the long-winded, like storytelling or like
Yeah.
conversations when you're trying to be deep,
That thing was so boring, bro.
it misses.
Yes.
What you're saying and what was said was like, oh, that's profound. But that just happened after a freaking 3 scene jump within a 30-second period, right? It just didn't.
I agree. The dialogue, this movie's dialogue heavy. Like, very dialogue heavy, which isn't a bad thing.
Like, I could see Nasir kind of like wiggling.
I was just about to ask you that. Like, I can see children like not
Yeah.
being, because there's not a lot of.
He's like on the cusp of, I can watch some of the most serious stuff because he watches anime, he watches the Korean stuff with us. Like he'll sit and watch some of the stuff that has like more mature, but when it comes to a Marvel movie, you're expecting to be able to take your kids and like they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, and not even care about the dialogue. But when 80% of the movie is
Yeah, and you know, not to say dialogue is bad. Like, we love the Batman.
yes,
As much action was in that movie, they talked a lot.
yeah,
But in this one, it's just like you said, like, it seems like it was jumbled. So you're talking and the pacing is bad, and it's like, yo.
right. And
Like-
so we get to the point where, I like the show. The show was okay to me. I don't know if we can go back and if we did a review for it and see what
Yo, bro, we did do a review because I was thinking about this,
Yeah.
and something just popped in my head because I was watching a recap. That dude, John Walker, I think you said it. They did him so dirty in that
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Like you said something like, yo, he did all this and for what? What did he get at the end of it? Like, it has nothing to do with this movie. I was just watching it and I was like, yo, they really did that man dirty,
they did.
bro.
They did, and I think that's why they're giving him a redemption with this, with Thunderbolts.
Yeah, they got to, like, yeah.
But all right.
Yeah.
My last hour. Isaiah Bradley
Mm-hmm.
looks 20 years younger.
Yeah, he does.
this movie.
He does. Like, did they, like, what, was that makeup? Like, he doesn't, because in Falcon Winter Soldier, he looked very old.
Very old,
Yeah.
very small.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at him in this one. That's a 6'1", 220 old man. Like, but he still looks younger. I was like, y'all messed up by making him too old
Yep.
in the show.
Yep.
Like, way too old in the show. We knew they were going to do this, but we thought that we were going to get flashbacks. Apparently, reshoots, we did get. There was a scene.
Oh, yeah. Then they erased that. I
And they
remember. 'Cause
erased
there
it.
was a young version of him. Yep.
So it's like, y'all made him too old. And then, like I said, relationship building. We saw their connection. They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's just being super critical on that front. But those are my only.
I got one more.
Oh.
He was teased a lot, the chicken man from Breaking Bad,
Oh,
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was wasted in this movie.
Oh, let's just sell a movie. I'm sorry, sell tickets.
like,
Let's just sell tickets.
like, why is he even in this thing, bro?
We're not gonna.
Like, he was teased. He was like, "Oh, I gotta roll in a Marvel movie. I can't tell you what it is."
It's like.
And then he shows up and he's gone, and I'm like, "What? What's
Like
the purpose
it's
of
like
you?"
Mandarin style, like wasting a great actor.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But then we got the little short, the Mandarin short.
That's true.
And then like I don't know, he's spoiler. He hints that he'll be back, and I hope he will be back because he's by far one of the greatest actors of all time.
He is, and the character he plays is actually a really cool comic book character. But it's,
Their second fight was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess his fight was cool, but I guess the thing is, he's nowhere near germane to this. Like, if he was out of this movie, it wouldn't have mattered.
No. If all of those scenes were out,
Yeah,
we would get nothing because they tried to use him to connect the plot.
yes. But okay, we've been negative enough. Jovi, tell me what you liked, and I'll tell you what I liked.
All right,
I actually did like
let's
some of this
go.
movie. Yeah.
I enjoyed good old corny Anthony Mackie just
Same here.
looking in the camera and like smirking, and it was just like, yo, he is our Cap now, and he was our Falcon, and he has been able to play this role this entire time.
Yep.
And he has not changed. Sometimes characters or actors try to change the character. I really enjoyed him being him, and I don't know if he does all his stunts, but his movements, I've always enjoyed because it is very different from Captain America, like our Steve Rogers Captain America.
Yeah, I really liked Anthony Mackie outside of the costume. Like we talked about how there's a lot of dialogue,
Lots of him,
but yeah,
him outside.
yeah,
of,
and when he's not in the costume and he's just being a regular person,
Yeah.
I really like that. Like I think this movie did a good job showing. Like there's a line even in the trailer where they're like, "You're not Steve Rogers."
Yeah.
And while the Falcon and Winter Soldier show kind of played to that a little bit, especially with with the dude I just mentioned, John Walker. But anyway, while it played to that, I think this movie did a much better job showing like how he has to deal with that. Like
Yeah.
what it means to be Captain America and be him.
His style is different.
Yeah, and I really like that. Like when he's talking, I appreciate it. And he's just he's tough when he needs to be tough, but his actual personality, he's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
And I really liked watching him on screen.
From the show and continuation into the movie, they really do play on the fact that Sam Wilson is a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of our Avengers or some of our other people or some of our other characters are just people, right? He still has a job to do, and his job is for this country. And so, like, no matter what, you know, all these people getting upset that in interviews, both him and Harrison Ford talking about, you know, taking the America out of it, the Captain America. It's like, just like with John Walker, he's just doing his job.
I agree.
And that is, you can see that because, we're going rogue. Sorry. That's what, you know, but it's like, you kind of can't just do that.
Yeah.
But I like that.
I liked it too. But that's, and again, I keep bringing it up. When I saw that's when you said John Walker. I was like, he's doing exactly what you criticized him for doing in Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, what the heck?
Literally.
Hey, y'all don't do that man dirty, dog. I'm going to stand on my man.
And I was like, okay, you guys, at least you got that.
Yeah.
Right? You really connected the show. The new Falcon, I like him. Like I said, but he's just goofy. Anytime he was talking where he wasn't making a joke, I was interested in what he was talking about.
Yeah.
When he was hacking computers, I was interested in what he was doing.
Even though his hacking was nonsense. But again, I mean,
I was like, man, you're getting in government.
I'm like, you did it a little too easy, bro. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think it would have been cooler because, you know, like in a cartoon or something, the little Falcon would have came down and like went into the computer or something like that. That would have made a little more sense. But whatever. It was still good. And I did enjoy the action, which there's not like ridiculously cool, but when it is action, it's fun.
Yeah, and I like you said, Sam's fighting style is very cool. Like as Cap. Like I mean, there's certain things that I was questioning how he survived, but but even besides that, because you know he's a regular person with some tech, and he's doing all of this, and it's really cool.
So, yeah, the newer suit, and they had to. I think they retconned that, like, because people were complaining, and they had to add that in there. The Wakandans definitely, you know, hooked them up, hooked them up. So
But they retconned what? They said that in the original one.
Yeah, but people were complaining that like he could take too many hits or stuff like that. So they were actually showing how every hit was absorbed.
Oh, like the Black Panther suit. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
People complain about anything.
Complain about everything.
Like, that's why
I was like, it was so evident. I was like, okay, damn, every hit, it doesn't have to glow purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we got in this movie. I was just like, all right, we get it. We get it. Like, like we get it.
I got you.
And then I was like, oh, y'all did this because of your crazy fans.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah. It's now if you do rewatch it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this seems like the wings are glowing then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
I got one more thing I really liked.
I enjoyed it.
I want to give Harrison Ford his flowers.
Yes.
82 years old. This dude did not phone this in.
No.
He was excellent as Thunderbolt Ross.
He said he did this for fun.
Yeah.
And he still acted.
He acted phenomenally. Yeah.
I felt Ross's pain, and I felt why he was so angry, and I felt why he wanted a relationship with his daughter, and I felt again another soldier This is another example of a soldier doing his job.
Yeah, like he's he's traditionally been like the bad guy.
Yeah.
And in this movie, it's like, maybe facing his own mortality or his relationship with his daughter. He's like, yo, I've been doing all of this. Has it been the right thing?
Life. And now you're president.
Yeah, and he has this like redemption he goes on. I really liked it. And the climax, him and Sam, they disagree on a lot of stuff, and I liked seeing their relationship evolve. Right. So I mean, yeah, I like, as much as I talked about the stuff I didn't like with the plot, I came away from this movie liking it more than I disliked it.
That's real.
I do think, again, like, just there's another bad guy in this movie. His plan is a bit convoluted, kind of like Zemo's in Civil War. And we'll talk about it off camera, because I want to know what you think about the way it ended with him, because I wasn't a fan of that. But
I tried to make it make sense. And like me and Mark kind of talked about it. I was like, yeah, because they're gonna, and I was like, well, maybe I don't make sense.
Yeah,
because that didn't make sense.
Yeah, but look, Captain America, I think it's more enjoyable. It's definitely more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. I was terrified this movie was going to stink.
And that's exactly what I said after it's finished. Mark leaned over, said, hey, how did y'all like it? And I said, I actually liked it. And he's like, actually? And I was like, yeah, I did not have any
hope.
No.
None. There's an after credit scene. It's not really that great, but there is one, so stick around for it.
Anthony Mackie makes a Anthony Mackie face.
Yep. All right, what would you give this out of 5?
I think I'm gonna go 3.5.
That's exactly what I'll go with.
Yeah.
It's a 3.5 out of 5, so that is your small couch review score. All right, it is out this weekend. Let us know what you think about it right down there in the comments. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we out.
Deuces.